in your processes, provide a great product, be exceptional, provide a great service to your fellow man, know the required technical skills in your business and which ones you can delegate, invest time as the entrepreneur in strategizing to grow your business, treat it like a big business, and it will be. Thank you.
All right. Give Dan a big hand clap one more again. And everybody. Years, 5 years, 20 minutes, but I believe that what was shared today will really carry you for the next years of your life if you took notes. And so one of the things that, you know, whenever I come into a company of people, especially people who make more money than me, I always write notes, but not really necessarily what they said, because what they said is great, but what they did not say. So give me something that someone did not say. So I want you to look beyond what they said, but tell me something that you kind of observed in their character, observed in their speech, observed in their presentation. I want you to kind of think through your mind right now. Think, what did you observe about them? Go ahead.
Being humble.
Being humble.
Yeah.
That didn't come out of their mouth, but they portrayed that, right? Anything else? Absolutely. They're seekers of knowledge. Seekers of knowledge, not afraid to ask questions. How many of y'all have been, you know, in a setting is like, man, you have this burning question, be like, oh man, that's a stupid question. Then somebody asks you a question, they're like, oh my God, that was such a great question. You're like, why did I ask the question? You know, don't be afraid to ask questions. Yes.
I think one of the things that was most powerful about both of them was that grace and mercy is all over them.
Yeah.
That is like powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Like you really know that they sit before the throne of God before they make any major decisions.
Mm-hmm.
They dedicate their businesses to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That is key.
Absolutely.
They didn't say that, but it's definitely evident.
Something that bled out. Absolutely. Anybody? Yes, sir.
They both took themselves out of the equation, so you hear a lot of we, us. The vision is their team, their company. I didn't hear a lot of I. Probably didn't even hear one I.
Yeah, very good. You didn't hear a lot of I's, didn't hear a lot of me's. You heard a lot of we's, us, our. That's because nobody makes it to the top by themselves. Absolutely not. Yes, ma'am.
And just that the struggle is real, that they've been through a lot of adversities themselves and that they've worked and put in a lot of hard hours. It's not going to be easy, 80 hours a week. Just knowing that it's going to be a tough road ahead and that there's things you got to look out for and watch out for. And, you know, fraud is out there and people out to, you know, try and get. So just a lot of just information about being careful and knowing what to do and collaborate with positive people.
Yes, absolutely. Being aware, basically.
Right.
You know, not just because you want it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
That's right.
Right? You know, just because you want it doesn't mean that you're going to have it. And so you have to grind for it. You have to work for it. You have to search for it. You have to seek for it. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to share, wanted to bring about, just to kind of capsulize. And this is for your toolbox. So if you can just write these down real quick, I'll just blast them off to you. Number one, leaders are readers. Everybody say leaders are readers. They are they are leaders. Literally, did you see how many books this man put up? Hopefully you wrote those all down because he's telling you exactly how he built his business. If you were looking for the golden nugget, there it was. He said, I didn't get my own knowledge. I didn't depend on my own understanding to do this. I went out and got people who knew more about managing, being the entrepreneur, helping people win at work. And I got their brain and I downloaded their brain in mine and I implemented it into what I did. So leaders are readers and readers are leaders. You have to take time to read books. I believe that the average entrepreneur, if you really want to win big, you need to read at least 36 books a year. At least 36 books a year. How can you grow as a business owner and you don't know nothing? Do you know what the S&P 500 is? Who knows what the S&P 500 is?
It's stocks, right?
Stocks, yes. So many people don't even know S&P, like, is that a new product? No, you have to know, you have to be aware, you have to know what's going on around in the world around you so that you can be able to be a good player in this world. But one of the things I read in this book that Dan actually gave to me, referred to me, anytime you hang around Dan, he's always going to tell you some type of book. But the book is Thou Shalt Prosper, right? It's by Rabbi Daniel Lapin, right? Lapin. One of the things he said, the people that get ahead in business in the world, it's people who understand how the world works. How are you going to be ahead in business if you don't know how the world works? And that's how you do it. You read. So he mentioned the E-Myth, the ultimate question, Thou Shalt Prosper, Strengths Finder. Need to read a book called Start by John Acuff, which is amazing. Tells you pretty much how the average person who's ever built anything in life has went through at least 5 stages. He said generally, and he broke it up into decades of your life. He said generally in your 20s you're learning. You're learning all the different things about business, about your function. In your 30s you're editing. You're editing in and you're editing out. You're editing in the things that you should have done in your 20s. You're editing out the things that you wish you didn't do in your 20s. Right? And then in your 40s, now you're mastering. Now you're taking all those things, those lessons that you've learned, and now you're mastering it. You're being a master of it. After you mastered, then after that, you're now able to harvest in your 50s. You're harvesting. Now you're living off the fruit of the land. And then in your 60s, you're guiding. You're showing other entrepreneurs how to do it, showing other people how to do it. But this is the great thing. You don't have to be in your 20s to harvest, and you don't have to be in your 60s to learn. You can start anywhere that you desire or anywhere, but each person goes through these 5 things. So you definitely have to pick that up. Another one is Quitter. It's by John Acuff as well. You got to pick that one up as well. Another one that's an oldie but goodie. It's a dinosaur, but it's great. The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. Great book. Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill, right? We got to read that. This is the thing. Many people who start reading Think and Grow Rich, they start reading it and they never finish it. Seriously, they never finish it. But this is the thing, is that the average millionaire has read this book at least 11 times. That's just one of the statistics. I don't know if these gentlemen have ever read that book. I know that Dan has read the book. Have you read the book? He's never read. Not yet. No, but this is the thing. Napoleon Hill was, just to give you some background, Napoleon Hill was about 20-some years old, I guess. 20-some years old. He sat in Andrew Carnegie's office, and Andrew Carnegie just kind of gave him just this kind of idea. Wouldn't it be great if you were able to follow all of these people who are literally making millions, earning millions in the boom of the Great Depression? Wouldn't it be amazing? And he said, someone needs to spend an ample amount of time. Do you know that Napoleon Hill spent 20 years of his life following the great people like Henry Ford, the Wrigleys? He literally studied these people and got their philosophy of success and put it in a book called Think and Grow Rich. But this is the thing, Think and Grow Rich wasn't the first product from Napoleon Hill. Actually, The Laws of Success and 16 Lessons, that book is about this thick. I brought it last time. I didn't bring it. Somebody tried to steal it last time. I almost had to slap them. But it's literally about this thick. That was his first book. And so many people started getting mad and upset that they say, you know what, you need to take that off the market. They took it off the market and brought a watered down version of that actual thing, and it's called Think and Grow Rich. And Think and Grow Rich has been it's the #2 book sold in the world next to the Bible. Do you think that there's some things that you need to learn out of there? Think and Grow Rich. Another one, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie. Definitely got to do that. If you cannot get along with people, you don't need to be in business. You need to be a postal worker. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. Are there any postal workers in here? Anybody in here? Postal? I'm just playing. Or work at the DMV or something. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. But listen, you gotta learn how to influence people and win friends. Next one, EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey. The laws of success, I told you about that, Napoleon Hill. The loyalty effect, like he just talked about. The ultimate question, helping people win at work. Those are just some of the things that I've had the privilege and honor of walking through multi-million-dollar homes. And so many times whenever I walk in this great, grandiose foyer, to the right or to the left, the first thing that I see is an office. And in that office, there is a what? Library. Do you think that they bought those books when they got there? No. So I can just buy books. No. The reason why they can live in a house like that is because they've applied what they've read, and now they put it on their shelf for reference. Seriously, you can track it in your life. I dare you to read 36 books this year. I dare you, and come back next year, and we'll have a whole bunch of helicopters flying on the top of this thing, right? Like we have one coming in, the 15th one is coming in now. But apply what you read so that people can read from your life what you've applied. That's what you got to do. You seriously got to do. And it's time out from just wishing and hoping and praying. It's time to start working. These guys are workers. Seriously. I mean, they grind to the bone. Okay, so that's one. Leaders are readers. Readers are leaders. Excellence is key. Okay. Excellence is not what you do. It's who you are. Excellence is not what you do. It's who you are. It's paying attention to detail in every aspect of your life. And this is the thing, your commitment to excellence is shown up in the unsupervised areas of your life. What do you mean by that? How does your desk drawer look? How does your closet look? How does your car look? Because this is the thing, how you do anything is how you do everything. Plain and simple. And so if you're thinking about running $1 million business, you're going to have to start with YOU. Because anything that you're going to build, you're going to be the foundation for it. Your company, your organization will have your personality, it'll have your strengths, it'll have your weaknesses, it'll have you because you are the head of that organization. Even down to the people that you actually hire, what he talked about, hire people that are smarter than you. They can help you, they can assist you, but ultimately everything rises and falls on you as the leader. So, should I work on my business more or should I work on me more? Should I work on being on time to places? Should I work on paying my bills on time if I'm expecting people to pay me on time? How you do anything is how you do everything. Excellence is key. Next, pay the full price. No one ever stayed ahead by being lazy. No, remember I said, stayed ahead, not get ahead, because you can get ahead and be lazy sometimes, but you're not going to stay there. The thing about it is that we say this all the time, is that your gift will make room for you, but your character will keep you there. You may have a dynamic product, a dynamic service, and an amazing opportunity for people that they've been looking for this thing, but if you do not have the character to keep it, you're going to be out of business, and you're going to be singing the coulda, shoulda, woulda song. I see it time and time again. I see it time and time again. So excellent. So pay the full price. And then next is endeavor to be the best in your field. Be the expert. Go the extra mile to be the one who has the answers. I was listening to something by Brian Tracy the other day. One of my favorite, just lessons by him. And he talked about his mentor, who's actually worth about $800 million, lives in an average household. I mean, lives in an average neighborhood, drives, a fairly, new car, about 3 or 4 years old, wears his favorite sweater and all those different things. But whenever he wants to go somewhere, he jumps in his $25 million jet and goes. Wow. But he said his philosophy of business is that he studied every single detail of the business. He said someone came to him and wanted him to invest in molybdenum. It's a raw material, right? So he wanted to invest in these molybdenum mines. This man literally spent hours studying the last 100 years of molybdenum, of how it grew, how it dropped, who invested in it. He said no one ever tried to defeat him in details in his business because he studied the intricate details of what it took to succeed in that business. In your business, do you know the ins and outs of your business or your industry? Or you're just kind of like, oh, I got this idea, I'm gonna work it as much as, no. You gotta do some study. You gotta pay the full price. I guarantee you, Mil-Spec Magnetics, they didn't just build on what they knew. They had to go out and get more information. They had to become experts in the field. To have only 25 customers and doing the revenue that they're doing, are you kidding me? Manny Wire, I guarantee you, he didn't start off just knowing everything about wire. That he studied the industry. He knows the trends. They understand what it takes to succeed in business. I know that these two ladies back here, they're jumping into the coffee market, right? And so you got to understand what coffee is doing now. Coffee is the #1 traded commodity next to oil. Did you know that? It's the #1 traded commodity next to oil, because what do we have over there? A coffee pot. Because guess what? Coffee is a recession-proof product. You can lose your job, you can lose your house, you can have a hurricane, you can have a tornado, but guess what? Starbucks will have the longest line next to Walmart, right? Seriously, people forget to do a whole bunch of stuff. They forget anniversaries, they forget birthdays, they forget, to kiss their kids, forgets to say, I love you, but guess what? They will never forget that cup of joe. Seriously, you better not talk to some people. So I'm just saying, seriously, look at all these cups right here. The only reason why y'all still staying here is because y'all got coffee, right? Seriously. So coffee, so you gotta know the trends. You gotta know the intricate details, all right? Y'all good real quick? I got about 3 more, all right? Next is that, on that one, endeavor to be the best in your field. Invest in education, in market research, and technology. You heard him say $8,000 into his website. And we're still like, I'm gonna build $1 million business. Let me go on Weebly.com and get a free one. I've done it myself, guys, seriously. So pay the full price, okay? Endeavor to be the best in your field and your expert. And then